All right, so today I'm going to talk about the 3 habits that actually changed my daily life. And people always ask me, how do I meal prep consistently? How do I stay hydrated? How do I work out 5 days a week and still manage all other aspects of life? And they assume it's just discipline or motivation, and it's not. It's setting up your environment and having systems in place that really just automate things. So, what those 3 lifestyle aspects, don't call it that, the habits that I have established for my lifestyle are more attainable because I take out the decision fatigue. They happen either at a predictable time or I make it flexible on a day. They are simple enough to repeat, and they also are things that I value doing because it allows me to prioritize my health, prioritize my lifestyle, and prioritize really my entire life. And that's it. So it doesn't need to be anything intense. It just needs to be consistent. And structure actually provides you freedom, which a lot of people think, I hear, well, if you're meal prepping every Sunday, how long does it take you? Well, there's multiple ways to scale it. And if I just do it all at once, then I don't have to think about it the rest of the week. So then I get my time back to do other things that I really do want to do. So how I run my meal prep to make it as simple as possible. I have a grocery list before I go to the store. And then I already know what I'm going to be buying because I've thought through, okay, we have plans these 3 nights this week. We need 4 dinners. Okay, make the list. Then you go, it's an efficient process. You come back, you put all of the groceries on top of the counter and then just start making them. Put it all in the fridge, and then you won't ever have to let your hunger control when you make food, when you eat your food. Because what I have found with building a consistent habit like meal prepping is oftentimes life gets busy, something comes up, and then you're having to order the food or you're having to DoorDash it because you haven't set up your environment to do the grocery shopping and to do the simple things to set yourself up for success. I also have a lot of Tupperware. It's kind of excessive, but we can always double things. We can always prepare for future meals just to take out all of the decision fatigue. Another thing is I make it very simple. So I'm not making 5 different dinners for us during the week. I use the same protein, same veggies. It's just the same staples. And then you don't have to rely on creativity of thinking, oh, what am I going to make tonight? You just rely on repetition. Another takeaway I want us to bring to light is how do you set up your environment around you? What this could look like is if you want to hydrate more, have simple solutions. You have a water bottle in your office. You have one at your desk at your house. It's always in your environment. I have my water right here. Plain and simple. Fill it up. That's 3 cups, and then it's in my environment. I see it, and then I drink it. It's really not that complicated. When I think about working out and how I consistently work out 5 to 6 days a week, depending on what we're doing, I will put my clothes the night before in my bathroom. There's no decision in the morning at 5 a.m. when I'm waking up. What am I going to wear? It's already there. I've already thought about it the night before, plain and simple. It's ready to go. And then I leave for work so that I don't have to come back home to change. I already have set myself up so that if it's 6 p.m. and I'm coming home, you're probably going to be pretty tired. And if you come home to go get your workout clothes to then go back to the gym, it's probably not going to happen. Another way that I incorporate more movement, that's another goal that I hear from some clients, is I have options to do things inside and to do outside. So the weather is never a factor. I have a walking pad at my desk. So if it's dead of winter and I wanted to spend time outside in the sunlight and now I can't, I'm still going to get that daily movement in, and I'll walk on my walking pad to ensure that I get more movement. That's something I hear a lot. Are you joining the podcast? Okay, don't worry. Mike will be joining the podcast though. I already have the topics. Stay tuned for that episode. That'll be good. You just interrupted me. Okay, next I want to touch on establishing new habits. This is what I'm working on right now. Very simple ways that I'm establishing meditating every day. What that looks like for me is I make it pleasurable. I have a candle and I have cream. These are all things I actually do. I have cuticle oil, okay? I make it pleasurable. I make it something I want to do. I don't always want to sit down and meditate. I have something to look forward to. I have my app. It's already in my phone. I know I do this every day, so I go into my app, I turn it on, do not disturb, 20 minutes, put the phone down, and just do it. Plain and simple. Click play. Other ways that I am establishing this new habit consistently is I talk about it. I tell people, oh, this is this great podcast or this great meditation app that I found. And I express how I am the type of person that meditates every day. I visualize what are the benefits of this and why am I doing it, even on days I don't want to. I also, for me, this works. I love habit tracking. So I have a little habit tracker. I'll show you guys that I have made. And all I do is I go each week and I check the box and I go straight down. This is what I do. Plain and simple. It doesn't need to be another app. You can do it on paper, and I put it in front of my right behind my computer, and I stare at this thing every single day. So I hold myself accountable by making sure I'm doing it. And then the last thing that I really, really love about creating new habits that you want to hold on to consistently is if I skip, so last Monday, I did not meditate. 6 out of the 7 days last week I did. What is a non-negotiable for me is on a day that I skip, life happens, life comes up, the next day I get it done. I will not allow more than one day to go by when I'm trying to establish something new. So it's the consistency of the reps, getting it done, getting it in. And actually, the last thing I'll say about how I look at habits and how I coach through other clients establishing new habits is that what was I going to say? Now I lost my train of thought. What was I going to say? I know what it was. Okay. So the other takeaway that I have found when establishing a new habit is in terms of making things simple, repeatable, consistent, depending on what it is, I will not set a time of day that I will do it. And the reason why this works for this specific habit that I'm building is when you're trying to establish something new and you think about what are the things I'm already doing, but there's some flexibility in it, that's not necessarily the best way that I have found for myself to establish something new. What an example is, if you're wanting to incorporate something and you want to habit stack it, which means you're doing it right after something you already do, such as brushing your teeth. That's a good example of a habit that you could stack something with because you know you're going to do it every morning and every night. You don't know exactly at 7:30 a.m. this will happen. So in terms of thinking through what's the habit, what are you stacking it with, and is this actually realistic, or is it more realistic to provide some flexibility and you're planning to work out between 9 and 12 in the morning, or you're planning to work out in between your meeting from 11 to 12, or those would be more timely and there's pros and cons of putting in an exact time and putting it into your calendar. And then there's also times where it's beneficial that I found to, if you're going to do something every day or 5 days a week, to allow some flexibility so that it still happens. It's not just all or nothing, black or white. Oh, I was supposed to do this when I was going to walk the dog, but then I had to do this instead, and then it doesn't happen. So I have found putting a time limit or timeline into your calendar and also having a plan B. If it doesn't happen before you walk the dog and then you had to make dinner, then it's happening right after dinner. That's my mindset. That's my mentality. It has to be a non-negotiable, and it has to be a contract with yourself, because ultimately no one can change you. No one can change your goals. No one can do it for you. It's going to come down to you, and there's ways to make it really, really simple. And that's what I've got.